Red will be there too. Horses have a great sense of smell. So when we greet whatever horse we do, that's how they take in information, right? I'm not trying to talk down to all you horse people, but just to remind everyone. So we can go greet them, hand, palm down, so our fingers aren't up. They have mouths that have teeth, so we want to just be careful about that. So faces, how beautiful he is, but just know that horses are like one of the most expressive mammals. They have 17 different facial expressions, so they tell us a lot without talking, and that's really the whole point that we're here, is that there's so much communication that goes on with a horse and a human, and you don't even need to talk in order for that to exchange to happen. So we look at everything that we have for them. So eyes are really amazing. They're huge. They have, they can see about 350 degrees. They have 3 blind spots. Tell me one of them. We all know one, right? Right? So we're careful behind them, but they have about, I say 3.5. So one is above them. They can't really see up, especially right up their neck. And they also can't see behind them, and that includes underneath them and where their feet are. So we're gonna be really mindful of our feet and make sure that, he has the right of way, so we'll get out of his way and make sure, because since he can't see that. And then of course behind him, anytime we go behind a horse, these are go really nice and close and touch them. I don't recommend that unless you're normally a horse person. Otherwise we give them a berth of about 6 to 8 feet so that we just walk around and give them that time. Let's see. Smell that we talked about. So Lisa's right. Horses can smell fear, but you know what else they can smell? Love. So they can smell oxytocin. And so every time our brain releases that, they're aware too, and they know that connection as well. Breath. So breath is, they have an average breath of about 8 to 16 breaths per minute. That's compared to ours, that's about 18 to 24. So what does that mean? That means when we're around horses and we're in their herd, our breath rate starts to slow down, okay, just automatically. So we're gonna start that even just from the very beginning. Just take some nice deep breaths. We're gonna let them kind of lead the way and we'll follow in a lot of that. Same thing with heart rate. So his resting heart rate is more like 22 beats per minute compared to ours is 60 if you're an athlete, like one of the soccer players that was just here, right? So when we're stressed, it's even higher. So when we're around our horses, they have a big electromagnetic field, since their heart is 5 times the size of ours. So we can have a presence of their heart rate even where you guys are and where Red is. So our breath rate starts to slow when we're around. Ears, kind of went backwards. So ears, really cool. They rotate independently of each other, and they can rotate about 180 degrees around and 90 up and down. So like this, he's nice and relaxed. Oh, now he's listening. So he knows what's going on when they're those airplane things. Of course, we all are mindful of horses when their ears are pinned back. That rarely happens with humans. That's normally with some of the other horses. You'll see some of the minis when they're play fighting and everything, their ears will go back, but we'll still be mindful of that when we're in the arena, and we'll let them tell us that there's something going on with them that we need to just be careful of. So, important thing when we are going to be around in the arena is right about here. So first of all, this is the safest place to be by a horse, right? Is right at their shoulder, right here. So when we approach them, it's good to approach here, let them smell, and smell here. But here is about where their brachial chakra is. So this is literally the connection where horses and humans can really connect non-verbally. Literally just by putting your hand right about where his chakra is. It's right at his shoulder, right where his brachial bone is right here. So when we do some grooming, just remember that horses are super sensitive right here in their barrel and all on their bodies. They can feel one little fly on them, even as large as they are, That's how sensitive their whole skin is. That's how sensitive their body is. So we don't need a lot. Nice little scratches, touches, that's all our way of connecting, and that's their way of feeling our feels as well. Let's see, what else important? When we talk about back legs, you know, back legs can swivel, so they can kick this way, they can kick that way, and they can even scratch an ear. Have you ever seen him do that? Scratch his ear with his black foot?
Yeah.
See? It's crazy. You don't think it can happen? It happens. See, you've seen it, right? It's amazing. Anyway, that's why we give them a great berth over here, because we just want to be really careful. They're so powerful. So tail is another way that horses communicate with each other and with us. Normal swishing is fine. That means there's flies. If there's like more like a ringing, then that's a little bit more aggravation or anxiety. If it's kind of up a little bit, see, like he's paying attention, alert, wants to listen and do things. So like he's telling us a lot right now, besides the fact that he's like, I want more food. So that's also that. But just remember that while we're here while we're in yoga all of the times, especially when we're down there at the arena, that what we're doing is like a true connection, and that's co-regulation. And that is just, for the clinical definition, is it's a biological process in which two nervous systems influence one another through nonverbal cues, breath, posture, heart rate, rhythm, and energy. And so that's what our horses do with us. But what's amazing is that even though they're prey animals, he's fine now. If you want to bring him, he can go back to the arena now. We're good. He's ready to go. Even though he is a prey animal, right? So he has to be like alert at all times, watching, looking, smelling, that he can also deregulate that quickly. So that is what's so amazing, is that even when he does smell something or sees a new thing, he can regulate his body so much to come down to that calm spot, which is what we can learn so much from horses, is like to be able to do that and be more present. You know, horses don't know time except when it's time to eat, and they just like really focus in on the now. They are not focused on what they have to do in 3 hours, what they have to do tomorrow, right? And so that's what we're going to do here today as well. Okay, perfect. Lisa, anything?